Okay, welcome back. So today we will have a term project presentation by two teams. And I ask Gihan to start the presentation. You may have up to 30 minutes, but can be short. After presentation, the other team can raise questions if you have. And then TA and then myself will have a discussion on the presentation. All right, so let's get started. Guillaume, please.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, my name is Kyung Kim, and I'm going to do a presentation about our team topic.
Your sound is not good.
Can
you make some a little bit more higher quality?
Okay. Is this better?
Yes, much better.
Okay. Okay, I will start. Hello, my name is Kyung Kim, and I'm going to presentation about our team topic, SIS heading. The sea is the last conquered land left on the earth. As many people say, the sea evokes the spirit of challenge and pioneering in people's mind. There are people who do not just sail the seas, but also aim to live in the sea. There are many plans to living in the sea. First of all, the most successful plan is artificial island. Artificial islands means an island artificially created by the people. The artificial island has many successful stories, such as Dubai's Palm Jumeirahs in the pictures on the left. However, the artificial islands have problems that lead to disruption of marine life and habitat degradation of ocean species due to the dredging. Another plan to live at the sea is to use a cruise ship. Unlike general cruise ships, these cruise ships operate like a condominium complex are uses. The advantage of this plan is that the target can be achieved through the conventional shipbuilding way. However, the cruise ship has the limitation that they cannot be self-sufficient. MS the world shown in the photo on the left is a real residential cruise ship. However, this ship is shut down due to COVID-19 situation because it can not impossible to isolate from the outside world. So, the new way of living in the sea has been proposed. This is called seasteading. Seasteading is a compound word of a sea and homesteading and aims to homestead in high sea. Seasteading instead using of resource and spacing on the land, people can build a new cities and society in the vast abundance of space available at high sea. The characteristic of seasteading can be summarized as follows. First, seasteading is a concept of creating permanent dwelling at sea. Second, seasteading is a type of ocean colonization. Third, seasteading is environmentally restorative since we cannot build a permanent floating structure without providing homes for sea life. Fourth, seasteading is a formation of eco-sustainable production and consumption cycle in the future human habitat. So, why do people want to build a seasteading? The proponents of the seasteading argues four things. First of all, seasteading is a potential solution for the world's growing population. Next, seasteading is safe from the natural disasters such as earthquake. In addition, as the sea level rise and the climate change due to global warming, and the sea can be a new living space. Finally, since the high sea have no owners, creating an autonomous region outside of government control is possible through sea study. However, there are problems in order to realize this study. The fourth problem is how to get energy from the sea to create a sustainable habitat. In nowadays, electricity is an essential element for modern life. However, since this thing is in high sea, it cannot get electricity from outside. Therefore, in order for people to live in a seasteading must have to have the ability to generate the necessary electricity for itself. The next problem to live in a seasteading is a food supply problem. Because the seasteading has a large population, it is difficult to obtain the food through only fishing. In addition, if the food is supplied through the large-scale fishing, it can destroy the surrounding marine ecosystem. And using the seafood alone, is limited in supplying enough nutrients to the people living in the seasteading. Therefore, seasteading requires other food supplies in addition to fishing. So our team's goals for solving these two problems are as follows. First, calculate the amount of energy required for seasteading. Second, find the best energy mix for seasteading. Finally, ideate about the self-sufficient way to get food in the seasteading. Based on what I described so far, our team set up the presentation layout as follows. In the second presentation, the energy requirement for seasteading is determined and the energy consumption will be calculated. In third presentation, the optimal energy mix is found based on the amount of energy as we calculated, and we will also look for the sufficient way to get food in seastead. The project timeline is like that to specify energy needs in seastead, calculate the energy consumption, finding the best energy mix, and to find sufficient way to get food. This is all of our presentation, and thank you for listening.
Okay, nice presentation. Thank you. Is there any discussion from student side first?
I have a question. And how many people do you think will be in your study?
We didn't discuss that so far, but I think that small cities can. I think we need to. We will going to focus on the side of small cities.
Oh, thank you.
So I may also add on the question, maybe.
Yes.
So I think nowadays it has not been put into the ground, but recently, if you have seen the news a year or two ago, some one couple in I think Thailand, they tried to live in a seastead, and they were actually living in just a small seastead. They were living like just two people. So it may the number of people that live in a single seastead may range like from say two, as I just mentioned, to maybe, as my friend Kim has mentioned, like a small village, maybe thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people. So it ranges. It's really long range. Yeah.
All right, good. Any other discussion? No, then we can go on to TA.
Okay, so okay. I like the topic a lot, and it was very interesting. And there seems to be a lot to discuss in the following presentations. But the slides, in terms of presentation skills and preparation, they were not quite satisfying to me. First of all, like, why all the letters were in upper cases. It was very hard to read. And mostly it was just reading from slides, which I don't think is a good way to do the presentation. And most of all, the lack of visual contents, like, except for the very beginning of the presentation, the first slide, there was no visual contents explaining about seasteading. So I had to search for myself on Google, and I could get a lot of good images explaining what the concept is. So next time, I think it might be better for you to put more time on preparing, PPTs, I think. But the topic was very interesting, and I hope you will do much better next time.
Okay. Thank you, TA, for the feedback.
Okay. And any other discussion or reply? No, then I can provide my ones. About the problem, you need to think about the economy as additional important topic, right? And if it is too expensive, then nobody can try to stay there. So what can be the proper cost and whether it is possible to provide such a steadying with that limitation of amount. If you think about, say, Singapore or Busan, the land cost near seaside is very high. So if you provide such a artificial island near Singapore, near Busan, that can be a possibility. So then you need to compare with the cost of living in Singapore or living in seasteading of your design and construction. So economy can be one important topic. But anyway, it's not easy to calculate, but anyway, you may try to, because it is important. All right, and then the presentation need a page number so that I can, or other discussion can raise discussion more specific to page numbers. Right? Please include page numbers to your presentation. And about size, there was a question about size, people, how many people? I found that biggest cruise ship in the world is around housing several thousand of passengers, but including the crew members who provide the service to the passengers, customers, in total it can be more than about 6,000 or 7,000 is on board the ship and stay in the cruise ship for, say, several weeks. So That can be a one example of size. And then in Korea, there is a regulation that to be a city as a government official city, you need to have a 50,000 population in that area as a city. So you may think about that kind of number, 6,000 or 50,000. That can be a one sample numbers. Lastly, I have another idea that you may think only about above water residential area, but there can be undersea, similar to underground floors of building. In the sea, it is better probably if we have a undersea rooms, spaces, because we can see the fishes or other scenery. That is also interesting. And also the temperature changes are very small there comparing to the above sea, so that temperature control is easier, and other advantages are there. So you may also think about the undersea floors too. Okay, that's it. Any other answer or discussion more on to Kihan presentation?
I have a question, Professor.
Yeah.
So about the number of residents in a cruise ship. So basically, you mentioned Korea recognizes a place where people live as city if it has at least 50,000 people. But in our case, I think so far the sea-steering movement, what sea-steering movement has been trying is to live outside the territory of a sovereign country. That means they like to not be like included in that country, so they are outside the influence of the politics and everything. So they just live like they want to live like as a sovereign like country by themselves. So
Right.
I was wondering if that's like is that doesn't it like contradict to the idea of sea stating if you are if a sea state is going to be under the rule of like a country or a nation?
Yeah, it's okay. You can try. Well, I just provide you some example numbers, not the regulation, right? But if you think about your own state as a floating state, independent state, then you need to think about more regulation on international water area, because many parts near the continent is belong to the nation.
Yeah.
So you need to go outside, far away from the land. Then the problem gets bigger. Your sustainability, transportation of food and energy, that can create more problems because of the distance.
Yeah.
And also the population size should be big if you want to stay longer as a sustainable group or area. You can stay with, say, 100 people for years, right?
Yeah.
You need some size. I don't know whether it can be. So you can think about these kind of consideration.
Okay.
So international water area regulation, something, law. Right. UN may have a idea to allow such a self-sustainable state in public ocean, something.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other? No, then we can move on to second team. Mr. Yoon will have a presentation then. Okay.
Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm the first presenter of this team. Our team consists of Adib, Songmin, and me, Yusang. We selected Korean-themed cruise ship as our term project goal. So here's our contents. First, I will talk about why we choose this topic, and then I'll briefly explain some ideas which from our brainstorming. We will choose a few ideas from here and our plans. Let me tell you about the reason why we choose Korean cruise ship. Since early 2000s, Asia has huge economic boom, as shown as this graph. In 2024, it is predicted that GDP will be twice of 2014. Because of this economic boom in Asia, disposable income in Asia increased, which means more needs about cruise are appear in Asia. Despite these needs in Asia, there are few luxury cruise ships that suits Asian taste. These pictures are the cruise ship in Asia, but most of them are Western style. So we decided to design Oriental luxury cruise ship, and we choose Korean cruise ship because we are experts in Korean culture. And here's some ideas from brainstorm, a candidate for our final design direction. This is brief sketch of our idea. It is a ship that has Korea as the theme and puts Korea in the sea. One idea is dividing text into 3 parts. One is living quarter in design as Hanok. Another is designing shopping street as Dongdaemun. And the final thing is build a nature park in Korean taste. In Hanok, we can bring interior and exterior design concepts. Also, most Asians, even if they are not Korean, they all sit on the floor, so ondo can be applied. In Dongdaemun, we can provide street food, and passengers can we can build shopping center, which can be entertain part and money-making part. In nature park, we can build a garden, like park in Korea such as Seoul Forest, and passengers can relax and do some meditations in park. Another idea is about food. Unlike Western course dishes, we can provide 한정식, which comes every food all together. Or we can do Korean style barbecue, and street food in the form of 포장마차. And the idea of 포장마차 we'll talk like as we can apply to Dongdaemun, as I mentioned before. And we talked about shopping street. The first is how to make up shopping street. And we said something like these came out, like luxury Korean brands, or lots of bangs like PC방, 노래방, or 찜질방, and the others. And the entertaining garden, we can provide fresh air, peaceful, calm lounging area, and we can do yoga or meditation and other advantages. And we can provide some special drinks like Korean tea or Korean drinks like soju or yakju. And we can provide some concerts like 사물놀이 or 판소리. And we also talked about how about putting a small boat in a cruise and letting it go fish, as this photo. And we researched some technical issues to implement this idea. We should use dynamic positioning system. And another part is about safety in Korean cruise ship. Safety is very important issue in cruise ship because cruise ship have more people on board compared to other ship types. So in event of accident, personal injury could be very dangerous, and numerous auxiliary facilities exist inside the cruise ship. So comfort is also an important factor. And one idea about safety is about COVID-19 with isolated negative pressure cabin. We can prevent the spread of virus as COVID-19, and we can prevent the COVID-19. Another idea is about adding a sail. It helps rudder to move and turn faster, which can make ship to change direction suddenly, and it can improve efficiency. So also this can make differentiation with other cruise ship. There is another idea about balloon with chemical reaction. Balloon can be blown up, which can prevent a ship from sinking or overturning. Or air lifeboats, we can save space, so we can provide extra boats for passenger. And we also talked about hull shape because we discussed so many ideas, and if we want to adjust all these ideas to one ship, then we need large space. So, and catamaran also gives comfort and vertical insulation, which prevents rolling motion for comfort and not to overturning. Here's our idea, and from now on, I will talk about our plan. Our job allocation is like this. Adib will be part of technical implementation about culture, and Sangmin Woo is about safety, and I'll be consider more about passenger part, like designing interior or exterior parts. And here's our schedule. Because our goal is attract people and promote Korean culture to foreigner. In midterm, we will find what attract people and what components can be promote culture. So we will decide what ideas to apply, because some of ideas cannot be applied together, and some idea is not proper because of economic issue. So before midterm, we will do an idea generation. We will research about why existing cruise ship cannot attract Asian people, and brainstorming how to attract people, and do some user research, and then we will choose ideas with some reasons based on our research. And in the final presentation, we will realize the ideas. So we will design what attract people and what promotes culture. And we will design such as how to realize it or estimate economics, which means price of ship, and the other things in detail. So before final presentation, we will do idea realization parts, how to realize the ideas about safety and culture, and interior and exterior. This is the part what we prepared. Thank you.
All right, very nice. So that's presentation. Then we can have a discussion from student first. No discussion from the team? Okay, then, all right, go ahead.
I think for the cruise ship, the cruise route is also important. Do you have an idea for the route?
We didn't discuss about routes, so next time we will discuss about it. I think also thank you for feedback.
We think that the main target route is around the Asia, but detailed route is not determined yet.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other discussion? No. Then we can go on to TA.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for your nice presentation. The PPT was very nice. I think you visualize your ideas very clearly using many images and symbols. And also, I felt like you all adapted each of your major fields, like industrial design and shipbuilding, etc., into one single topic. So I liked it in terms of the integration of fields. And I think as just one unique cruise ship, this concept could be a nice business model. But the safety part, I felt like it was kind of off the topic. I mean, kind of irrelevant to the main idea, because I felt like it could be applied to every cruise ship in general, not only this Oriental cruise ship. So I think one of your main focus in the future would be how to merge these separate ideas together to be one project.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any other discussion on this or replies? No. Then I can do my comments. Once again, page number is needed, right? As TA pointed out, the economy or business plan, I worry about the Korean specialized ship, cruise ship can be viable as a business, new business, because of who will be the customer. Maybe the cruise ship can be a big one, such as several thousand passengers are on board. But can you collect several thousand coming from Korea? That is my question. So you need to survey on the market size of cruise tour around the world, and specifically around Asia and Korea, so that whether your design can be a viable solution to Korean shipbuilding company. If you design a nice ship, Korean customized nice ship, cruise ship, but nobody want to buy one or travel with it, then, or only few people, then it cannot be a viable solution, right? So it is a kind of another kind of economic consideration of market size or something. All right, that is one. So probably you need to think about China and Japan together, because as Kian pointed out, that currently the popular route course of Far East cruise ship lining is starting from, say, Shanghai or Taiwan, and visit Busan, and then Tokyo, and up to the, where is the city in Russia? I cannot remember the name, but that is a popular cruise line course at this moment. China, Korea, Japan, and Russia. Far East Russia. Near the Japan, there is a big city of Vladivostok, something, right? Probably. That is the popular course nowadays, but it can be increasing and changing. But at this moment, there is so you need to think about this kind of things. And about safety, I guess the SOLAS is the answer, international regulation on safety. so less. And I guess there should be some chapter only for cruise ship. So you may study on this to include such a safety regulation into your design. And I see that catamaran can be a good solution, but I don't know why there is no such a catamaran cruise ship at this moment around the world yet. There should be a reason why they do not make a catamaran cruise ship. But for me, it can be a very nice solution. So you may more investigate on this idea of using catamaran, because the stability and then also deck area is very big comparing to monohull. Right, that is my technical comments. Right, thank you very much. So nice presentation. Any other discussion? All right, then a little bit more on formatting. As I send you the how to term project, I asked several items should be included in the presentation, but some is missing now. So you need to include. One is a Java location for Gion's team and references, and also the core goal and core target, separation of goal into two parts, right? Core one must be finished at the end of the semester, at the final presentation. And then you can have additional goals. It is optional, right? So please write down. So please see again my how to term project PDF file, and then try to make include those items I asked to you. And then revise that files and submit by midnight tonight. Then after tomorrow, Jihu and myself, the TA and myself will start grade. Okay, so you have for over 10 hours, right, to revise that slides. All right. Any more discussion or questions?
I have one suggestion on the Korean cruise ship. I think it will be even better if you run this cruise ship in Western area, I think. Because for people invest, and some of them like really want to come to Far East area, but they cannot because of time and everything. And this cruise ship, I think, can give a good experience as a substitute of actually traveling there, of visiting Asian area. Yeah, that was it.
Okay, that can be another possibility for
I have a
business
question,
plan.
Professor.
All right. Yeah.
You mentioned there is a how to term project file. Where can we
Right.
find that?
You cannot find that.
Where can I find it?
It was once uploaded on KakaoTalk chat, and you can also find it on week 2 on lecture notes tab.
Week 2 lecture note. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I will upload again. Where is it? It was distributed on 11th of March, but I will upload again to the Kakao. All right. Anything else? No? Then we can finish the class earlier. Thank you very much. It is nice. You have a good presentations. See you on next week.
Okay.
Bye
Bye.
now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.